Okay, let's move on to a little El Salvador action.
Yeah. El Salvador is going to keep buying daily amounts of Bitcoin, even though it's under pressure from the IMF to rein in crypto-related activities as part of its loan conditions. The economy minister, Maria Luisa Hearn, confirmed at the Web Summit in Rio that President Bukele remains committed to steadily accumulating Bitcoin. Right now, the government holds around 6,162 Bitcoin, worth over 583 million, and has been quietly adding roughly 1 Bitcoin per day, according to Arkham Intelligence. This to me is an interesting story that you and I have kind of speculated on many times before.
Yeah, I love this story.
What do you make of this, man?
Well, I just love it that they're just like, no, we're not going to comply with the IMF's rules, with your rules here. We're just going to keep buying the Bitcoin. And so far, we haven't seen, I at least haven't seen any statements from the IMF or any like, hey, no, we're going to claw back that line of credit that we've offered you. Although that is, of course, the risk here. I mean, what happens if the IMF says, no, we're not going to give you the line of credit, and then El Salvador starts to get into some economic trouble? And what do they do then? Do they have to sell their Bitcoin in order to like fund their government?
Yeah, I also think it's not clear exactly what the IMF has control over. As in, they say that they need to stop doing this, but how far exactly do their loan conditions extend into what El Salvador spends its money on? Right? Is it simply just?
It was stated. I saw a document where it was stated in the loan conditions that you shouldn't be using this money or government money to purchase Bitcoin. Okay. Now,
so
they're doing it.
Do you think they are using this money? Are they explicitly using the loan money?
No. I don't think they're explicitly using the loan money, but does it really matter? Because it all kind of blends together anyway. Like if you've got a certain budget and then now you've got a line of credit, so your line of credit, okay, you're spending on a road, but you would have spent from that money to build the road from your like normal tax receipts. Instead, you're just like using some of your tax receipts to buy the Bitcoin. And
right.
The IMF is paying for the road. So it's... And
I agree with you, but does the IMF have the legal authority? I mean, they obviously don't, because we're talking about national level here. Do they? But well,
they can just... cut off the loan. They can say no more soup for you. But they're not, which is telling.
It's a dangerous precedent, though, where the IMF gives a loan and they say don't spend the loan money on things that we don't want. And they don't spend the loan money, but then, as you're saying, they are able to basically finagle. They use the loan money to do things that they would use their own money that they are now using to buy Bitcoin on other things. I think though that it's very murky, and I think that's the case here, and true of all IMF loans, I imagine, like this, right?
Yeah, the IMF. It seems like this is an organization that used to have a lot more power to dictate how the policies in the country it lends to. And it seems that now they're kind of just like, well, we need to make some loans here. So we're going to be a little less picky about how we enforce it. So
there's a Bitcoin.com news writer in the chat, Linzers, Sergio. He's our LATAM expert, and he says they agreed to, quote, confine Bitcoin purchases. Experts believe that El Salvador is just juggling already bought Bitcoin, but nobody really knows. So thanks for that, man. And shout out to you. You're doing the work.